So what makes the Shakedown so special? Honestly, for those that don't know, the Shakedown Nationals take place this very weekend at Virginia Motorsports Park out in Dinwiddie, Virginia. But in case you didn't know, the Shakedown's roots are in Old Bridge Township Raceway Park in New Jersey. The original event, the Shakedown at E-Town, I think part of what has made it so special is just that rich history, right? There's tons of tradition. People have for like a decade bookended their season by heading to the Shakedown to kind of let it all hang out. This final year-ending King of the Hill event. And huge kudos to David Hance, the promoter, the New York-based promoter and racer that started this event, which kind of served as the Northeast's answer to the World Street Nationals in Orlando, Florida. Similar format, similar rule set. And it really became an event that people looked forward to. People traveled from far and wide to go to this event, spectator-wise. Racers came from all points of the globe to be a part of this. It was one of those things where it was the event that ended the season and kind of let everyone know where they stood. And that's one of my favorite things about these big independent events that bring racers from similar classes but maybe different parts of the country all together to do battle on one weekend. And the Shakedown is actually in its third iteration. It started out, like I said, the Shakedown at E-Town, New Jersey, moved a couple of years ago to the Shakedown at Summit Motorsports Park in Norwalk, Ohio. Huge kudos to the Bader family for jumping in and keeping that event live when Old Bridge Township Raceway Park closed down. And now, in its third iteration, I don't think the Shakedown has ever looked better. It's the Shakedown Nationals now. It's a little bit of a new name, but that same mystique exists. And I think that there's a lot, again, that rich history plays so much into it. People think of the Shakedown and they think of all of Tim Lynch's exploits in Outlaw 10.5. They think of Jim Halsey making the first ever 5-second pass for a nitrous pro mod. They think about some of the best, I get goosebumps. They think about some of the best drag racing that's really ever happened. The best door slammer drag racing that's ever happened has happened under the umbrella of the Shakedown. So here in 2020, that mystique still exists. I think it's, again, one of the coolest events that happen on the schedule from the media perspective. It's just a great opportunity to see racers from it paints a wide swath. I say that all the time, but you've got all types of different racers there, pro mod racers, all the PDRA stars from Pro Boost and Pro Nitrous, and then pro mod racers from all points of the globe. You got racers that are heavily involved in other series that come out to be a part of this. It pays big money, $20,000 to win in pro mod, $20,000 to win in Radio versus the World. They've also introduced recently, Tyler Crossnow and the gang have introduced recently a race within a race where they run the quickest radial cars versus the quickest pro mod cars, and that's become a real focal point of the event. Anytime you can do a race within a race, I think it's a victory personally. I guess there could be an argument made for it complicating things, but nonetheless, I think it's a super exciting thing. I also think that this is proof positive that the ownership of an event, the promoters involved with the event, their passion and enthusiasm is so important. And you can feel Tyler Crossnow's passion and enthusiasm for this event. You can feel Tommy and Judy Franklin, the owners of Virginia Motorsports Park. You can feel their passion and enthusiasm for this event. I think every track needs a race like this. This race, and most have one, this race that they are personally invested in, they're emotionally invested in, and you can feel it. I've always said that energy and enthusiasm, it starts at the top and trickles down, right? If the promoters and the owners of an event or a track or whatever, or a sanction or a series aren't excited, you can't expect anyone else to be excited. And I'm telling you what, at the tip of the iceberg with the Shakedown Nationals, people are freaking excited. These guys work hard to put on this event. They bring in a ton of sponsors. And I really look for Pro Mod to kind of steal the show. I know radial tire racing has a ton of momentum right now, but Pro Mod race, I think we're gonna see a real Pro Mod classic. With the conditions that we have, that's another thing that's been part of the mystique of the Shakedown, if you will, is this record-setting environment that exists. I honestly think if we get these guys, if we get the temperatures in that 50-60 degree range on Saturday, killer track is to be expected. It is going to be an absolute barn burner, and I hope everybody is safe. And I'll tell you what, this will highlight my argument maybe for another day that Pro Boost, Pro Nitrous, these outlaw 8th mile pro mod racers gotta be in one class. That's part of the magic that we will see at the Shakedown Nationals here in 2020, is bringing all the big names, all the big stars from outlaw 8th mile drag racing to a single eliminator, a single category where you've got Lizzie Musey racing Jay Cox, and Lizzie Musey racing Melanie Salemini, and Melanie Salemini racing Tommy DeApril, and all these big names that exist in the sport or exist in outlaw 8th mile drag racing. They're all fighting one another. They're all doing battle together. So Shakedown Nationals is probably one of my favorite events on the whole the whole drag racing schedule in general.